All right, so welcome to video number 3 in week 5 for mastering volumes in trading with Urban Forex. Okay, so now we want to talk about a bit on correlation. Okay, why is correlation important in all of this thing, right? So correlation, obviously, you if you're in the elite community, you are aware of the strength numbers that we have. There's 3 ways you can go about this. Okay, there's 3 ways you can go about this. One, you can use the strength meter number from the daily charts from the elite community. 2, you can also pick up our app that we have on the App Store. The description will be in the link below. Okay. Or 3, you can also do the correlation yourself manually based on the correlation lessons that you've learned on the 4-course bundle. Okay. Okay. Whichever way you choose, it's fine. All right. Now, why is correlation important? Okay, we want to look at the correlation numbers from basically the daily. Okay, let me move this aside a little bit. Here, let me just do it from here. You want to look at the correlation numbers basically from the daily, and this is how it's going to look. Okay, here we are. Okay, so these are your numbers. So let's say I choose this day right here, and I can see USD. These are all numbers out of 7, right? USD plus 5, Swiss franc plus 3, Euro minus 5, plus 1, minus 7, minus 1, plus 7, minus 3. You get the idea, okay? It's basically telling you how strong is dollar, how weak is euro, and stuff like that. So when you're doing, apart from the purpose that we discussed in the last pair, you also want to be aware of how much money is being moved, because this also acts like a volume meter, right? Because the markets have moved so tremendously across the board, it doesn't get anything bigger than that. That's massive. That's huge. Okay, especially if it's coming from the daily charts. You don't need to look at just one time frame above. If it's coming from the daily charts, then they're already dealing with the high and low breaks, and all the larger players who go into the office and then come back the next day, are they still looking to sell? That's what we're interested in. Okay, did the day change suddenly for them from one session to the next session, or did they come into the office the next day and they're like, yeah, we're still selling, and then they come into the office the next day, yeah, we're still selling. You know, so that's what that's what we're looking for. That's why I like to use the numbers from the daily chart. Okay, so for example, in this piece, when we were looking at this earlier, okay, where was it? Yeah, here we go. When we were looking at this area earlier, and we said this had a volume break, and this was around the 19th. So if this was on the 19th, basically we have the numbers from the 18th, okay? Because the strength numbers don't come out until a day after, pretty much. Okay, so we want to look at the numbers from the 18th to get an idea of what is pound or dollar saying. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so this was, sorry, what day was that? June. Okay, so let's go to the back a little bit. Here we go. June 18, here we go. So June 18, USD is plus 5. Okay, what else we have? What else do we know? Pound is plus 5. Now, both are strong. Okay, so even though there's a high volume break, you have a dilemma by saying the pound is also strong, which means it wants to go this way. So the larger time frame, the bigger flow of money, the biggest volume flow of money is saying buy. While this temporary chart is saying the volume is starting to tell us to sell. So there's a little conflict there. This helps you to, again, be careful from getting into bad trades. Okay? So if you're starting off the day and you're looking at this, you're like, oh yeah, I got a high volume break. Then you do the next thing, you're like, is there a purpose? And you're like, there's no purpose. And then you check the correlation also, and you're like, even on correlation, I'm having problems. I don't think this is going to be a good pair for me to be attacking today. Okay, now being a trader who is trading on this time frame 60-15, by the time you look at all the stuff and try to do the sells, that entire session that you're doing going into the US session is all of this. That's not a fun trade to be in, where it's just chopping and grinding and chopping and grinding. I know a lot of the eyes right now are focusing on, yeah, but it worked. Yeah, but how? How long did it take? What was the procedure? Look at all these whipsaws and everything. That's not healthy. That's not a healthy pair to be on. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to take you more into the development phase of, now that you understand purpose, what is purpose all about? And then you understand why is correlation important from the daily, the strength numbers. Now we're going to go into how do you classify everything. So in the next video, I'm going to walk you piece by piece on what is classification system. This is proprietary only from Forex Watchers. It's something I created approximately 6 months to 8 months ago from today. It's extremely powerful. It basically tells you if you have a decent trade, there's a high chance that it's going to win. Okay, and without giving you much headache. So let's take a look into that. Let's proceed to the next video.